Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to TwoCrazyShuckers Creations. Today, I am so excited to try these out. Bond Crafters sent me the pearlescent colored UV resin as well as their colored UV resin. So, we are gonna have a little bit of a experimental time. Sorry, I should have opened this beforehand. With this new resin, I'm going to get out some bezels. And since I'm having just kind of a play around, I am not going to use any sterling. What I'm gonna do is use this as like my background a little bit. I'm not sure what I'm doing yet, actually. I'd like something that's pre-drilled that I don't have to drill. Here's some other bezels. And here's some larger ones that I think are more keychain size. So let's see what we can create here. I also have a ton of these. A lot of bezels that you get that are closed back come with the pre-made glass dome things for them. And I think we might experiment a little bit with that today as well. See, so here's like a square. I'm not sure what size it fits in, but let me have a go here. Okay, so it fits in these bezels like this. So there's that one. I've never done anything with these. It's terrible. But we're going to remedy that today. Sorry for the noise. Here's a round one. I'm not sure what bezel this fits in. I have so many bezels and stuff just sitting here, wanting, begging to be used. Let's see if this fits in here. Oh, it does. These are some stainless steel bezels that I had made. They come from a seller in Pennsylvania, and they're handmade and they're great. So these could make some really cute keychains. Okay, that gives me another idea. I also have these little ones with the bird design on the back. Oh no, they don't fit in that. But they do fit in these other ones. That's great. Okay, so I'm going to place you on hold while I get all of these. Well, actually, let's open the box together. And then let's see what's inside here. All right, you get another roll of tape. Oh, it comes with some cute little bezels. Adorable. Some finger cots, which are great. Oh, we have some tools in here. Interesting. And then this one comes with gray, blue, red, pink, purple, white. Oh, but that's pretty. Oh, black, dark blue, orange, green, light green, and dark purple. So I'll go ahead and get these opened on a pause and get the caps put on, because nobody needs to see me do all that. But let's open this one and see what's in here. I wonder if this thing will open it. I didn't know I was going to do a video, to be honest. It just kind of happened. So in the colored UV, you get much of the same, the cots, all the lids, you know, you have to put those on, but you get a dark blue, mint green, blue, red, gray, yellow, orange, pink, violet, black, purple, and white. These also come with the instructions, always a good thing to read. I will be back. Okay, so that turned into my phone shutting off while I had it on pause because it was taking me so long. But at first go through, these colors are beautiful. But I'm going to tell you one thing that I noticed the most. As you can see, I've got it all over the bottles because these were full to the top. So when you cut out the little, you know, metal like liner that's in there and replace the cap, it is full and it almost overflowed. So I do like the colors. They're great too. So for the book is for both. It's the same book that come in both of them. Cure time for the pearl is 4 to 6 minutes. Cure time for the solid colors are 3 to 5. So the pearl color, it's stating, is slightly thicker than the solid colors. They're more of a medium viscosity. So I would say these are a higher viscosity, the pearlescent ones. So they're high gloss, hard type, yellow resistant, bubble free. And it says to slowly squeeze the UV resin into the silicone mold. You need to flip your mold. I'm using the Let's Resin double-sided today. I didn't know if my resiners was charged or not. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna try these little glass things, but I wanna try a little technique of, see, that's one thing you have to be careful of. The first time you open them, make sure you have that bottle closed. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a mix of, yeah, that's a good little thick resin. I probably have too much out there. This is the violet. Let's see if there's a purple in the pearlescent one. There's a dark purple. See, same thing. First time you open them, you have to be very careful. Oh yeah, that one's a higher viscosity for sure. But it's beautiful. And then I'm gonna add some dots of green. Just watch yourself with these bottles. Make sure you're double checking those first times you open them, just to make sure. Well, that didn't do anything, so let me see what the green is over here. We have a light green. So I'm gonna opt for this color. I've been so excited to see these pearlescent colors, so I was very excited to review them for Bond Crafter. I have to tell you, I've been pretty pleased with Bond Crafter's items. I have so many more items this is the light green, to give a try for. which I plan to do that, right? So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to make it round. I don't know. I've never done anything like this before. And then I'm gonna take I wanna make sure my hands aren't sticky. So I'm gonna take this and I'm just gonna drop it. Maybe I should wipe that glass off to make sure it's completely clean. I think that side's good. I'm gonna let that just kind of fall in there so that it's all the way soaked around. Oh, how do I get it back out of there? Let me get a pair of tweezers. I have a black pair. Might work. I don't know how to get this back out now. Should I cure it and then trim it off? Let's try that for this one. And then the next thing I want to do is I want to try using a bezel and just laying it onto, you know, the color and then picking it back up. So this came with Resiner's tape with the 2 boxes. There was quite a few of the finger cots, these, and then these tools, which are a nice hard plastic tool. I wonder what this is doing. So I'm gonna put that on for 5. And I'm gonna try and get a little silicone mat. I've got an extra one. Actually, I know what I'm gonna use. I have some of these little silicone baker mat things. I don't know where they are though. Bear with me, I'll find them here. Oh, there's one right there. Okay, so these I believe came off Amazon. I don't want that side because I can feel the, I don't know if that texture is going to be okay or not. All I can do is try it, see what happens. So for this one, I don't know, maybe I should put down a piece of tape. Grab a pair of scissors. Ew. I can't see where this one starts. Oh, there it is. I think because of that texture, I am going to put a piece of tape down. I don't know what is on that tape, but I'm not going to use that piece. I don't think I've ever used a whole roll of this before. You definitely have to watch your fingers with this, you know, getting your fingers on it. I think I'll use a little tool here. See, there's a fingerprint. I'm not happy with that, but that's okay. Let's just kind of stick this down a little bit. And I'll take this other tool. Use what you have, right? And then I think these could be really pretty keychains. I'm not sure. Wow, I have a lot of stuff on my desk. I'm just gonna make sure that that is fully stuck down to that tape. These are not the best bezels. They're like something off Amazon, or I believe, you know, they're just, they are what they are. They're too big for earrings. So that's orange. I would love to try and make like a beachy scene. I'm not sure if I can do that or not, but I'm gonna give it a go. There's a green, a blue. We don't need gray. There's a light green. I don't need purple, and there's a blue. That has orange. I'm telling you, you have to watch those things a lot. So, what I'm gonna do is just kind of fill this in like it's the sand of the beach. I know, it really doesn't look like sand, but use your imagination. These are definitely a thicker resin, a higher viscosity. So keep that in mind when you're using them. Like I said, these bottles were so full. I was a little bit in shock over it because usually you get these small bottles and there's not a lot of resin, it seems like, in them. But these were pleasantly surprising. So let me get a dotting tool. Gosh, I forgot everything today. And I'm just gonna move that around a little bit. I don't know. And then I'm gonna start with dark blue. Actually, we want darker blue at the top. But I wanna mix the colored with the pearlescent and see what I get. I don't know if I'm gonna use much green or not. I really did not know I was going to do a video. I kind of come into this like, let's have some fun. And it's usually how my brain works. So I'm gonna take this one and kind of smush it in there a little bit. And sometimes it's fun to just, you know, this one says dark blue. Yeah, sometimes it's fun to just dig out some resin and have a little go, you know? I'm gonna try and use some of this green at the bottom. But I'm not gonna harden any of it until I get down kind of some coloring that I want. I'm literally using my imagination right now. Nothing beats a nice, thick resin to stay where you want it. Did we try this one? I don't know if I tried this one or not. Okay. Before I add any more, I'm just gonna take my dotting tool and kind of blend all these together. I don't know if it's ocean-like or not, but ooh, that blue right there and the colored blue without the pearlescent is super pretty. I'm gonna find that again wherever I put it here. That's pearlescent. That's pearlescent. Wait. Oh wait, this is regular. I'm putting them back in the wrong places. Oh yeah, I love that color. Wow, that is beautiful. I'm missing one over there. What one did I put away wrong? Right there. Okay, then I'm gonna move this around a little bit. I just want to swirl all the colors really. The green with that blue makes a really pretty, you know, like a teal, kind of a turquoisey waters kind of color. Gonna let that kind of degas for a second before I put it under the light, and we're gonna see what happened here. So that whole thing is coming off. Okay. That is an epic fail. We'll revisit that in a minute. What I am going to do is take a little bit of the pearlescent white, which I already took out. And I'm going to put it just to create a little bit of, like, you know, the bubbles on the beach. That is not the pearlescent one, but that's all right. Just to give it that wave look in there a little bit. I am going to run a lighter over it. I don't really see any bubbles, but I want to make sure I don't have any. So, ooh, how am I going to do this? I should have dug out my resiner's lamp. I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to bring this light over. I'm going to put it on a couple of minutes and I'll be back. Okay, so I've got this cured for a couple of minutes here under the light. And I put it in there, and I'm gonna use my tray now. Ooh-wee, so much stuff. Now what I wanna do is create, let me see if I can move this back a little bit. I think I wanna do like that faux bubble look with some clear resin. I don't know if I know how to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix some of the white and the pearlescent white together. And I am going to then add the clear to give it that effect. Where did I put that? I just had it. There it is. Because I don't want it completely, you know, opaque or pearlescent. I don't know. I might have just messed it up. I might have put too much. I'm not gonna say that I didn't. I'm just gonna kind of swirl them together. Hopefully my head is not in the way. To give it that kind of oceany. Yeah. swirly ocean look. And then I'm gonna take the clear regular you know, Bond Crafter UV resin hard type, and I'm gonna create but down here I'm gonna just cover that over with some clear. I want to make sure I don't overfill it, but I do want it quite domed. I'm just gonna go over the metal to the metal part, you know, so that I'm sure it's attached well. And I'm just gonna leave it with a little kind of probably the pearlescent wasn't the best choice for right there. Let me find my add-ins. And looking for my starfish, but I think instead of starfish I might see what else I have for these little nail. I think I found something. Is that a starfish? Man, I thought I just seen shells. I did, right there. Ooh, yeah, these little. Oh, Lord. I'm just gonna add. That sunk right down in. So I'm gonna try to put another one on there and not have it sink down in. I want it to be quite flush, but I don't want it sunk down into the resin so that you can't see it. And then I'm gonna add a little starfish, and that's it. So let me move those down. I think that looks really good. I wish I hadn't put the pearlescent white in, but it's still gonna be a beautiful keychain. Then we're gonna move on to revisit like what I need to do here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to start right from the beginning, from the bezel, and then I'm gonna try and think about how I want this to look, which I don't know. You just need to prepare yourself when you're using the pearlescent that it is thicker. And you're gonna need to adapt whatever you're doing for that. I may even give it a try in a mold and we'll see how that goes. I've got a mold out here. I've been working on this new little series in our mandala earrings. That one came out funny. These are full though, which is surprising. Like I said, most times when you get these little resin bottles, there's not much in them. You feel like you just got dripped a little bit, but I don't feel that. So we have pink, red, and I believe it was light green, which is like a real pretty like aqua color to me. This is a real pretty light blue. It's like Cinderella dress blue. No rhyme or reason here. I'm just adding colors and then I'm gonna swirl it around a little bit. So what I'm thinking is that I'm probably just overfilled this too much for adding that glass bit on. But hey, you know what? I don't know if I care for these. I don't feel like my resin is gonna cure to it, and I feel like I'm better off doing that and then taking some resin and doming it after. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, no, you don't know what I mean. I know, I'm sorry. I just kind of made that a little muddy, but that's okay. It's still pretty. It's still, you can, I mean, you can do a lot with a keychain with that as well. So I did add too much resin. Okay. So I'm gonna set this down at the bottom part of my lamp. Just let it, let's see what this is doing. Yeah, I'm not sure about those glass discs. I'm not sure if I am the right person to be using those. So our little starfish and stuff showed up. Now it has got a texture because of the different viscosities in the resin. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one more small amount of my clear hard type and I'm gonna add that just on the top. We do a lot of car coaster orders, so I love having a keychain, especially when they're sending them as a gift to somebody. It's like a little gift set, you know. They get their car coasters and then a keychain for themselves. And I try to make them so they match. So we sell a lot of beachy car coasters. So these might work out really well. I'm just bringing it to that edge without going over. I don't want it to lean over or, you know, run over that edge. And as long as you don't break that kind of bead, that tension on the edge, you should be okay. So I'm gonna hold it up to my eye level and give it a look-see. That looks really, really cute. What I am gonna do is just put a little bit more just to make sure I have those little inclusions covered so that, you know, they're not catching themselves on that or catching them on their clothes or something like that. Let me give it a quick go over. I'm gonna put this back in the lamp, and I'm gonna put that on a full 5-minute cure. Now here we are with this beauty, which is great. Can I put the glass on now? No, I filled it too full. Okay, so this one is a bust, but I'm gonna just take it and dome it up with some resin so that I can still use it on a keychain, and it doesn't waste the bezel, you know. And then I will give it another try. As I've stated, I have never done anything like this. I've made stuff in these bezels. I used to put vinyl on them and kind of make them into a their pendants, you know, because they were stainless. This was before, oh, it just ran over. Okay. So, now I need to clean this up. The best way to start is just by putting alcohol on it. I use 99% for cleanup because you want to make sure you get all the sticky off. I may have to use like a higher viscosity resin just to dome that up, so that it doesn't run off that edge, which I'll do that off camera and I'll show you it when it's done. But I am going to try another one because now I don't like that it beat me. So you have to have a very slight amount on the back. Okay, so then let's keep it simple. Let's go with black, gray, and white. Yeah, this is a nice thick resin. So there's the black. I know I seen gray. There's white. And there's gray. I'm only putting a little bit in and I'll move it around because I don't want to overfill it again. And I'm not going to put the black and gray together so that because I don't know. Oh, that's a really pretty silver. Now I'm going to fill this in with white. And I'm only going to put that much, and then I'm going to move it around. I don't know how I'm going to move it around yet, but, or what my design is going to be. Always try new things. Always push yourself a little bit. Work outside your comfort zone. You might like it. You might find something you really want to make. I'm going to wipe this off on my shirt. You might really enjoy making. See, if you put the glass on, it would save me having to resin dome it. Oh, wow. Oh, I think that worked. So it's just a little tiny amount of resin that goes in there. Now I'm going to put this into the lamp, and we're going to see if it sticks or not. And let's move on to a square one. You have to be careful of these bezels because they are not a flat, that the bail part right there hangs over a little bit. So I recommend fully putting, it hanging off like something else that's propping it up. Green, green. dark purple. I thought there was another blue. Let me see. What am I missing here? There we go. So this one I'm gonna do a little bit of that blue, which is the dark blue. Then I'm gonna put a little bit of this blue. I'm gonna put my light on for while I'm working here. Yowzers. This one is much more that Cinderella blue, which is beautiful. I like that color a lot. And then I'm gonna mix, I think I'm gonna put white instead. I was gonna put green, but I'm gonna use white, I think, instead, if I can find it. So one thing I can tell you about this thickness of this resin, plus the fact that it is, you know, it's quite opaque. These bezels are funny because they have that print always on the back, right? And you always have to figure out a way to kind of cover that up to make it look less noticeable. So this resin is a good fix for that. I'm not gonna worry about it too much on that edge. I'm just gonna kind of okay, I'm gonna put this on there to get off any bubbles that I can. That's really pretty. I'm gonna wipe this little square piece off. And I'm going to very gently so that one came up over the edge a little bit. What I'm gonna do, I don't know what to do to fix it. I had way too much in there. Should I pull it out and start over? I think that's what I'm gonna do. Oh, what a mess. So my advice, go sparingly with the amount of resin you put in the middle of these. And I would say all bezels are going to be a little different. I gotta put some alcohol and try and clean that off. I should be able to scrape that off once it's dry, but I want to try to get it as clean as I can before then. The design isn't quite as fancy, but it's all right. It's more about it not coming up over that edge and me not be able to get that off. So I'm gonna clean my little glass piece thoroughly again with the alcohol white. I added alcohol to it. Then I'm gonna dry it on my shirt. I have on just a regular cotton t-shirt. And let's see if we can make it work this time. Much better. It's still coming up over that edge a little bit. Maybe I could clean it with this. Maybe I had the size wrong on the bezel to the glass. I'm not quite sure. Probably I have way too much resin in there. So if you go to do this, go sparingly. You don't need a ton. Which makes, you know, that even a better item to make. If you're not using a ton of resin and the payoff is huge. Now these bezels, I'm not sure where they came from. I think they came up from a seller of Whatnot, and I'm not sure if they even sell anymore. I haven't been on Whatnot in months. So I'm sure you can buy these bezels anywhere though. And you can buy the little glass inserts. I'm just trying to clean up as much as I can to save me later having to clean it up. I'm just taking this little micro thing. Yeah, I'd say that that bezel isn't quite the right size. It's fine. It looks like I have a bubble right there. I think it's just a part of the white. It's still pretty, don't get me wrong. It's still nice. And this is where being a perfectionist is sometimes not a fun thing. Keep moving that a little bit. I'm gonna kind of hold it there and just get as much as I can. I'm gonna let it cure, and then I will see what it takes to clean that up. And it's probably leaning a little bit too. So, okay, let's put that under the light. Let's get this out from underneath the light, which I need the tray for. Okay, sorry about that. I know it was just a few seconds for you, but I had to get my grandson. He reminded me it was 12 o'clock and it was time for him to eat. So, that is actually kind of a cool, fun way. Like I said, these glass inserts have been sitting here for a very long time. You can clean that up later. I'm just going to keep it up in my lamp so that I can it can sit there till I'm ready. Now, I do recommend, wow, it looks so pretty on the back. I kind of wish I hadn't added that white and done that bubble effect. That is pretty perfect. There's a little bit of a spot right there, but when I resin dome that, I'm going to set it right in this, and I'm just going to put a coating of resin over it and finish it up so that it's touching the metal. I think that's very important to know, that whatever doming or top up you do, it should be touching the metal so that you don't have an issue with that, that resin kind of popping out. I don't know. That's how my brain works. So all I do is just take it along the edge of the metal, trying very hard not to break that tension on the edge. Oh yeah, I love the back of it. So I guess it could be like a dual-sided keychain. And it's very beachy themed. And it's fun. By the time you put some beachy charms on there, put you a little colored tassel. It's not really sitting level. How pretty is that dark blue? And everything, cured up great. Even as opaque as it is, which I should have shown you that, but I didn't. So I'm gonna put this in the lamp. I'm gonna put you on pause, and I will be right back. Okay, so the back side has cured. I was working on doming the other one. So what I can tell you is with the thinner coat, you do see that patterning that is on those bezels, which is fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that ideally you would want something to cover that, you know? Especially if you were adding any kind of design or pattern to your item. So what I'm gonna see now is how easy it is to clean this off of here. This thing hates me. Please be careful with your craft room knife. So that is a fail. I don't like that at all. And I have cut my finger. Yay. Okay, so here's this one. We have the back side. We have the front side. It's nicely domed up. And honestly, it's like a double-sided. There's a little surprise in the back, the little shell and the starfish. But how pretty is that? So yeah, there's my fail. There's my success. This is my success. I would say having a bezel that is quite deep is gonna be the way to go. I'm happy with that. That'll make a cute keychain. And I have domed this up with a high viscosity. I'm gonna leave that under the light because I do want to try one more thing as soon as my finger stops bleeding. I am going to use this because it is flat and this has that texture on it that I'm not sure of. So what I'm going to do is very simply create just lines of color. I'm gonna go with the lighter ones, every other one maybe. And I'm not gonna show you making me the keychains and stuff today. You guys have all seen that stuff enough. So what I'll do is I'll just have photos at the end. So let's try a dark purple. Very thick. But super pretty. They're very pearlescent, very glittery. I'm not gonna put any black and gray. I'm gonna try to keep it in nice colors. Let's use some red. I'm not gonna put the red by the green because I know I always think Christmas. And the red is more of a dark pink. Let's put orange down there. All right. Then I'm gonna just take my dotting tool, which is the larger end, which has got a buildup of resin on it. And I'm just gonna take it down through, up through. Really no rhyme or reason there. It kind of reminds me of those shirts they used to wear in the 70s. Then I'm gonna take one of these larger, I don't know, that might be too big. Let's see what else I have over here. I have a bag of these silver bezels. Let's just see what happens here. Let's try a heart. I don't know what the best way is to do this. So then what do? Just maybe you cut that off after? Let's try that. Let's see how that works. As you can see, I've never done any of this before. I'm gonna make sure that's kind of down there. We are getting a super bad thunderstorm. I guess I could do it on the back of these too, but they're very dirty. Yeah, I'm disappointed in this one because I don't like when that shows through. So now you know not what to do. I didn't work much with the colored UV resins today. So we'll probably try, actually, let me dig out that mold that I was telling you about, because I've been working on something with this. So let's see what we have here. I need to get rid of that. What color do I want this to be? I'm gonna pick blue, purple, dark blue, violet, and let's see if we can find pink. White, red, pink. Okay, this is what we're gonna use. This is their regular colored UV resin. So I'm gonna start with dark blue, which I am pretty sure it's lighter colored. And I'm gonna just put that at the top of my mold. Oh, I didn't see if I was in frame or not. And I'll clean up my mold in a little bit. So I want to keep these in order. And then I'm gonna go let's do violet next. Just to see how well it, you know, goes in the mold. So we have dark blue, violet. Let's do pink next. So I'm gonna do quite a big swatch of pink in the middle. That dark blue kind of reminds me of a turquoise. So then let's do purple and then blue. Haven't used this one yet. Actually, this is this is purple. That other there was violet. Oh, that is a bright purple. I have some bubbles in there. And then this is the blue, which I think is going to be the darker. Yes, it is. I love that color. That is really pretty. And the fact that it's pre-mixed so that you can, you know, just add it. You could add a little bit of something to it. Okay, so there's this cured. So then I don't know what to do about this yet. Let me finish these up. First of all, this mold, you have to go around the details quite a bit because it has so many details in it. And I'm gonna try to keep them a little separate. And I think I'm gonna add a little bit more of the violet and the lighter blue. just because I can. Now, as you can see, most of those bubbles are coming up on their own. So I'm gonna do the dark blue, which is this lighter kind of turquoisey blue. And you can see that there's air bubbles in there. See those? You want those out. And what I do is this, you know, because there's a lot of detail in that. Then I'm gonna add the violet because I want a little bit more of that. And then I'll see what I'm gonna do after, I don't know. It's just a play around day. And you can kind of go in those details a little bit while you're doing your little swirls. That is a lot of color. I'm gonna add a little bit more of the blue at the bottom, so that it tops up my mold okay. I always need a new lighter. That one's gotta go in the refill bin. So that has degassed pretty good. I'm still gonna let it sit for a moment before I cure it. Now remember, with the pearlescent, it said 4 to 6 minutes. And with this one, 3 to 5. I basically do everything about 5 minutes. Those look pretty good. I need a little bit more pink in this one right over here. I don't know what these are gonna look like. They're bright though. Those are still degassing, so I'm gonna let them sit just in my lamp without the light on and let them degas while we figure out oh wow. That is breaking right off. I wish I hadn't wasted so much. Oh wow, how cool is that? Let me get out my resiner's drill really fast. And it is fully cured. I mean, there's nothing sticky on it or anything. I'm gonna kind of drill this back. Actually, I'll show you. I have a Dremel too that would go through this a lot faster, but it's not cordless and it's way louder. I just want to get a hole in there and get it started to clean out. Hopefully I'm not making a bunch of dusty mess. My drill is saying, not today, ma'am. Keep in mind that these bezels are basically a plated bezel. And so if you're hitting it a bunch with metal, it's gonna get, sometimes they're copper filled, sometimes they're like brass filled. So just, you know, be mindful of that when you're in there working and chipping away at stuff. I'm gonna try using my dotting tool to get the rest of this out. Oh, do I want to dig out my knife again? That little cut. I guess the other cut wasn't bad enough that it made me. I do not recommend using your craft knife for this. I'm going to place it on pause and I'm going to clean that up with my Dremel because it seems dangerous. And then we're going to have a look at these, which they need to be a lighter again over them. I see a lot of bubbles up there at the top, which, to be honest with you, Bond Crafter's UV resin is a bit more bubbly than other brands. But that also may be due to the viscosity of that. So I'm gonna pause you and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm not saying that you should do that, but I took my Dremel tool and I cleaned that. It's actually the drill part. And I cleaned that off. Something I forgot to add is, if you have any kind of seepage that, you know, runs out underneath between the tape and whatever you may be doing, you want to try to clean that off so that when you dome this, you get a good adhesion with your doming and that metal. You know, so like it's like this. So you're domed over that, so it won't just pop out. So I'm going to dome that off camera and I'll come back with pictures, but I did want to show you these. How stunning is that, how that all blended right there. These went 5 minutes, fully cured. Oh, those are kind of cool. I do need to paint the details, but they're definitely out of my norm. But I wanted to give the UV a try in a mold, and they actually did really well, especially with all the details. And I didn't go over the details because I didn't want to blend. But yeah, there you have it. I'll be back with photos. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.